Now, he's come a long way since he sang Walking in the Air as a boy chorister. Aled Jones is now a singer, actor, author, presenter, and he's coming to Gloucester in the autumn on his tour of cathedrals round the country. But instead of visiting with the Songs of Praise team or to film another documentary, he's going back to his first love of singing. The tour starts on October the 2nd in Norwich Cathedral, with stops all over the UK from Exeter and Truro to Coventry and Sheffield, before finishing up at London Union Chapel at the end of the month. And he'll be performing at Gloucester Cathedral midway through the month on October the 19th. Well, I caught up with him today and he's already excited about the experience.
I have to pinch myself, to be honest with you, and also then I think to myself, why haven't I done it before? It's almost like a coming home tour, if you like. You know, I've been to probably all of these cathedrals, well, nearly all of these cathedrals, either as a soloist or, you know, as a guest of the choir or whatever, or for TV work. So, but this time to have just my own tour and actually performing with all the local choirs in these cathedrals, it's going to be such an honour, it really is.
There's something so atmospheric about a cathedral as well, because I mean, you can walk into one of these big kind of conference centre stroke, you know, venues where you have huge concerts, and actually it's just a big open empty space until the crowd's in there. But a cathedral, even standing in there on your own, is impressive.
It is. You're giving me, hairs in the back of my neck sticking up now. Yeah, and that's what I've always done. You know, I've gone into these spaces and sung sort of spiritual music, you know, even things like You Raise Me Up, but also hymns and, you know, a bit of John Rutter, Deep Peace or whatever. And now I'm going to get the opportunity to actually sing this music in the house it's meant to be performed in, you know. So I think it's going to enhance the whole feel of it. It's not going to be a stuffy concert or tour at all. You know, we're also going to give the congregation a good old sing-song as well. I think it's something like Shine Jesus Shine or something like that. Get the band going as well. But, you know, I'm also really looking forward to going back to basics and singing the sort of music I did as a boy, but also when I started out as an adult as well.
Is there something special about being in a building where the acoustic is just designed for the music that you're working with?
Yeah, and that's what, you know, we've chosen the musicians and everything to go with that as well. You know, we'll have strings, woodwind, keyboards. We're also probably going to use the organ in the cathedrals as well. So yeah, it's going to be great fun, you know, and also, as you say, you know, singing the spiritual sort of music that's been designed to be performed in these houses.
I often wonder when people do a theatre show or a musical. I mean, you know, you've done Joseph and Technicolor Dreamcoat, you've done Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. When you're doing those performances day in, day out, and they're absolutely the same each time, how on earth you don't get bored? But then actually, with this, it's going to be different every time because you've got a different choir and quite a different space.
Yeah, different acoustically every night, different choir every night, and the same musicians, and I'm very lucky that I'll also be taking the same sort of sound team, same lighting and all that business with us as well. So it is very much a family when you go on the road. You know, you have to choose very carefully. I'm very lucky that I've got the same team around me that's probably been with me for the last 20 years. And so when we do go on the road, it's a very happy occasion, and more so this time, I think, because, you know, my musical director used to be master of choristers at Salisbury Cathedral. So for him, it's going to be a real experience as well, performing in all these cathedrals. So we're all really looking forward to it. It's just a shame it's not happening sooner.
You were a boy chorister. Do you ever find that when you are out and you meet these different choirs in cathedrals and places around the country, that you hear a voice and you think, that's something special, that one stands out?
Yeah, there's always that, but you know, the problem with that is that if you are part of a cathedral choir, and I know to my cost that you're supposed to sound as one, so you can't have one voice that does stick out really. You know, in Bangor I was taught very much that I do the solos occasionally, but not all the time, and that we had to blend and make one sound. No one person should stand out. So yeah, I'm always, to be brutally honest, I'm always listening out for that one voice. But as I say, you know, I've not had an experience like this before of travelling, you know, for one day being in Norwich, the next day being in Guildford, next day being in Ely, next day being in wherever, you know, it's and hearing all these different choirs. I'm very, very lucky.
When you're back in Bangor, is there something quite special about performing there where it all began?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I haven't sung there for something like 29 years or 30 years. So, you know, I've been there quite a few times since then. I've done a couple of songs of praises from there, actually. But no, I haven't actually performed there for that many years. So it's going to be very, very weird. I think I'd be pretty gutted if no one turned up.
Well, you're in Gloucester Cathedral Cathedral on Friday the 19th of October. That's our nearest venue, and of course it's a building that we're very proud of locally, as I think most people are of their cathedral. It's something that you really take to your heart, and you see it above the skyline, and everybody knows about it, and everybody can see it from the train. And
and if people haven't been to the cathedral before, then this is a great opportunity to have a good look at it, and not feel intimidated, because it's going to be a very warm concert atmosphere. Everyone's welcome, and it's not, as I say, it's not a stuffy experience at all. I really want people to, yes, of course, enjoy the music and feel some sort of form of uplift, but also to go away with a smile on their faces.
Do you ever find now that your nerves have got worse because you don't do this as much anymore? I mean, you do all sorts of live television and live radio, but that's quite different to opening your mouth and singing and people coming to see you and paying to see you.
Yeah, well, I'll prepare, amazingly well for the tour. So, I never ever want to feel on stage that I'm not prepared. So, it's just like sort of, running a race, if you like. You can't just get on the track and do it. You've got to put the work in. And as you say, it's very difficult sometimes when I have one-off concerts, because I tend to spend all my time on TV or radio work, so that all of a sudden a concert comes up and I have to really prepare for that. But at the moment I'm doing so much singing as well, that everything's in check. And as far as nerves, I don't know, it's what I do best, really. So when I'm up on stage, I'm totally in control, and even if I forget my words or something like that, I know that I could always make them up, and I feel just totally comfortable on stage.
It's what you do best, and it's your first love, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. Not to say that I don't enjoy all the other stuff I do, because I do, I really do, radio especially. But yeah, when I'm on stage and there's one spotlight, and some fantastic musicians behind me, I think I'm very lucky.
Well, tickets for the Aled Jones Cathedral's tour went on sale today. He's coming to Gloucester Cathedral on October the 19th, and you can find out more on his website, which is aledjones.com.